Hey everyone, welcome back to the Alltheyarn channel on YouTube. I am Lindsay, also known as Alltheyarn on Instagram and Alltheyarn Dash on Ravelry. So, what have I been up to the last month? Let me show you some finished objects. I am super excited about this. I have loved this pattern since it first came out. This is my finished Winterfell cardigan. Oh, it's dreamy. It's a little blown out. It's very dark. So it's actually quite dark. Oh, it just gets more blown out the closer I get. But maybe that's it. Oh, it's very bright out today. So everything's very, but that's okay because it's gorgeous. Look at those lines. Excuse me. It's very perfect. Let me tell you who this is by. This is the Winterfell pattern by Katrin Schneider, and the yarn is Dream in Color Peacock Shadow. The base is it's the Colossal base, which is exclusive to Simply Socks, my local yarn store. She does not have any in stock right now, but I think she might be getting more. I don't know. I could be lying. Maybe I hope she's getting more because I've bought a lot and I know I'm supposed to be stashing down this year. And this Colossal base, it's broke any stash down intentions I had at the beginning of the year. Let's blame COVID. It's totally COVID's fault that I had to buy a bunch of yarn. Absolutely. So anyway, I'm super excited because I have wanted to knit this for forever. It's done. I do have buttons. I said it correctly, not buttons. That's how I say it. Anyway, I do have buttons on here. They are a very deep navy, nearly black. So they blend in perfectly with the cardigan, which is what I wanted. Sometimes it's nice to have a contrasting button. That's so weird. Sometimes it's nice to have a contrasting button. I'm just gonna say it like I say it. But in this case, I didn't want it to distract from those slipped stitches that are just gorgeous. One thing about this sweater is it fits, but it's snug. And I'm okay with it. I mean, I'll make it work because I love it so much. Like, it's not bad, right? I mean, I'm totally wear this. It's not bad. But that is kind of the problem with knitting your own sweaters. I feel like it doesn't matter what size I pick. It's going to be just a little snug or a little too big. This is not so snug that it's uncomfortable. I actually am thinking I might just reblock it. It's not. The arms are tough, and I should have known because I have gargantuan upper arms, and I knew from the schematic it was going to be tight. I knew it, and I know how to fix that, and I just didn't. I don't know why. Again, it's not bad. It's just, boy, a half an inch would have made a big difference. So I've knitted so many sweaters and I just feel like the entire process, I'm enjoying it, but it's really a crapshoot if it's going to actually fit. But I'm wearing this. I'm going to wear the crap out of it. I totally love this. So Winterfell, check off the needles. My next FO, I'm super excited about. I thought for sure Winterfell was going to be my most exciting FO this year because I've been wanting to make it for forever. But this is my most exciting FO this year. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, those cables, right? I don't normally go into so much detail about a particular project, but this project has a story and I'm gonna tell it. back in 2011, 9 years ago, 2011, I went to Ireland with two of my cousins. It was the first time we'd ever really traveled together. I mean, we saw each other just about every year for a week at a family reunion, but then the rest of the time I didn't see them. So it was like, well, let's see, let's just go to Ireland together because it might be fun. And we had a blast. One of the places that we visited was the Aran Islands, and I picked up 2 skeins of this beautiful natural wool that is from Kerry, that's from Kerry Woollen Mills, which is like a local yarn mill in the area. And I thought, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see what I make out of this. I want it to be something that's heavily cabled. At the time, I'd only been knitting maybe 3 years. So it sat for quite a while as I tried to find that perfect pattern to knit up these 2 skeins of this beautiful natural Irish wool. Well, fast forward 6 years, almost 7, and I finally found this beautiful sweater pattern, but obviously I needed a lot more than just 2 skeins. So I went on, got on the internet and ordered some more yarn from Kerry Woollen Mills, a lot more of the natural, and also a skein of the navy. December 24th, 2017, I cast this baby on. You guys realize it's 2020, right? Like, I don't think anybody can not know that it's 2020. And we're talking end of August 2020. So nearly 3 years later, this guy's finally done. And let's not forget, this project has really kind of been in the back of my head since 2011. Like, I am just so excited to get this off the needles. Now, I made this big on purpose because it is an Aran weight yarn. It's heavy. I almost wish I would have weighed this when I pulled it out of the water from wet blocking it, because it felt like it weighed 40 pounds. And I would not be surprised if it actually weighed 40 pounds. It was so heavy. But I knew going into this was a heavy yarn. It's an Aran weight yarn. So I made this big to be a jacket. You guys remember what I just said about... Can you tell already? Because remember how I said it's such a crapshoot if something's gonna fit or not? Okay, let's rewind a little bit more. So I cast this on in 2017, and then we got a new house. So it got put away for a while. Then summer of 2018, I nearly finished this sucker. I put it on, and the sleeves, I originally knit those as seed stitch sleeves. I did that, and I don't really care for seed stitch. Well, when I put it on, that seed stitch made the sleeve very stiff. And I thought, well, what's the point in finishing this when I already know I'm gonna never wear it, because these sleeves are terrible. So, finished sleeves, I ripped them completely out and re-knit them in stockinette. Then the shawl collar, again, when I was trying this on back in 2018, it was like this. And that just didn't look right to me. So I had to rip back almost to the pickup stitch row and re-knit the whole thing, which, hello, look at all that. And if you've done a button band on a cardigan, you know there's like 80,000 stitches. So this has been nearly a decade worth of project, getting the skeins in 2011 while I'm in Ireland, for years I was searching for the perfect cabled project, finally getting it. starting it. It has to go on hold while we move, pull it back out, work on it, nearly have it done. I mean, everything was cast off. It was done, but hating it. So ripping back the sleeves and reknitting those, ripping back the collar, reknitting that. This has been a project. I love this. I love this. But let me show you. Let me show you how stupid big it is. Okay? Like this is, I mean, it's not bad. I will wear this. I don't care. I made it so it's a jacket. Because I reknit this as stockinette, like it's got some drape. It's not super, super stiff. So I'm glad I did all that. Right now I have the sleeves rolled up. Guys, I knit these sleeves. I could have saved myself a little bit of time. Look at that. I can't even see my fingers. If I'd realized I didn't have to knit them as long as I did. That's okay. I'm just super excited about having this project off the needles. And I'm totally down. I love this shawl collar. I love the buttons that I chose, which I'll show you what they are in just a second. Like, to me, this is the perfect jacket. Kind of, now that I have it on, I wish I would have put pockets in it. Okay, perfect jacket minus it really needed to have pockets, but whatever. Look at this cable. What? Yeah, it's wonderful. So I love it. I do. I really love it. I love it because of all the things that I think of every time I see it. I think of the Aran Islands in Ireland. I think of my cousins and how much fun we had together. Just hanging out in a way we'd never hung out before. It was so much fun. I think of, you know, all of the time I spent on this and the love I poured into every stitch. So I really do love it. But it is kind of big. It is. That's okay. I don't like to judge my knitting. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. It is kind of a theme here. I don't judge my knitting. If there's a mistake, that's okay. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. You know, I mean, I enjoy the process of knitting. I enjoy the process of putting together what I feel is the perfect pattern with the perfect yarn and creating something. That's where I find the joy. And when I look at the finished objects, it makes me think of the joy that I was feeling when I was making it. So anyway, let me show you these wonderful, wonderful buttons. I got them off of Etsy. There will be a link in the notes below if you want to check those out. She was super, super fast in shipping them to me. I have a small confession here. When I blocked this, I was trying to be super, super careful because I am putting navy next to a natural. And you can see we did okay. If you get super, super, super close, just barely, there's just a little itty bitty bit of bleeding. Like, just a little bit. I only noticed because I was looking. If I wasn't looking, I wouldn't have seen it. But I do think I want to be super careful, and it's white. Oh, I'm trying to be super careful, so hopefully I won't have to wash it too often because I am scared to dunk the whole thing back in water again. That is a non-super wash wool, so it's not going anywhere near the washer. But even hand washing, I'm going to be super, super careful with that because I don't want it to bleed any more than it. Just like the tiniest blue got there. Just a tiny bit is what it is. Okay, those are my two FOs. Yeah, I got some whips though. You want to see it? Okay, this first whip, I follow that hashtag on Instagram. test knitters wanted. So I tend to see a lot of different knitting projects that need a test knitter. And I am weak. When I see it, I want to knit it. So this is the Swiss Tea test knit, and she designed it to have those eyelets because they reminded her of Swiss cheese, which I'm a Swiss cheese fan. So yes, and anything that's named after food, heck yes. This is upside, I'm holding it upside down now, but look at that fun stitch. Oh, that's what sold me. So this is knit in pieces, obviously. Here's my front. And it's also knit bottom up, obviously. So as far as I've gotten on the, oops, there we go. That's about as far as I've gotten on the bottom. So, or excuse me, the back. Got my first eyelet row there. Yeah. So I've got a little ways to go on the back, and then I will add sleeves. But this is knit. This is knit in fingering weight yarn with size 8 needles. This designer is onto something. It's designed by Gabby's Goodies. You can find her on Instagram. I'll link below. But fingering weight on size 8, do you guys realize how fast this goes? Oh my gosh. And the drape is just amazing. So I can't wait to put this together. I think it'll be a great transitional piece. Probably maybe should have chosen a more fallish color, because I think this is great for a transition piece in the fall. You could layer it very easily. She has 2 versions. One's a little more cropped, one's a little longer. I did a little bit longer because I have a long torso, people. Long torsos and cropped shirts, they weren't really meant to be together, in my opinion. There are some people with long torsos that are probably rocking the crap out of some crop tops. This girl can't. And I did at one point when I was younger, but I'm not sure how that happened. I mean, it was like, well, it doesn't matter. I was younger. So, well, yeah. Anyway, so I made mine longer. I may make another one in a more fall color. This is obviously very spring. This is Blue Moon Fiber Arts. I believe it's their Socks That Rock Lightweight. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's in their Colossal base, which was a special run specifically for Simply Socks. That was done, I don't think it was last year. It couldn't have been last year. It was a couple years ago. So when I signed up for the test, Gabby sent me the information. I'm assuming her name's Gabby's because it's Gabby's Goodies. So I'm going to call her Gabby. If your name's not Gabby, I apologize. I will fix it later. Put the notes in there. But Gabby sent me the pattern. And so I looked, hey, how many yards does it need? Do I have that in stash? I did. Almost the exact amount that I needed, plus just a little extra, because, you know, we always want to make sure we have just a little extra. So this stash is several years old, but you know what it looks like, right? Anybody that's been watching my episodes, this looks like the exact same color as my other test knit, the Jersey Peach one. Yeah, and I'm one of those people that has stash, like so much stash. I don't see my stash all the time, so I kind of forget what's in my stash. I'd forgotten that I even had this color. See, almost the exact color of another sweater I've already knit this year, but it's really nice and I like it. I don't think I might wear it in winter. This is a good winter color. It's like a winter, spring, and summer color. It's just not fall. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having loads of fun with it because it's on size 8 needles. I gotta find some more fingering weight sweaters on size 8 needles. This is amazing. You do a couple rows, you're already, like, you would see it grow in front of you. It's amazing. So I'm super excited about this test. I'm trying very hard. I'm working on this monogamously. I know we're past her testing deadline, so I'm trying to get this done. I signed up after the deadline was over, so I'm not being a slacker here, but I am trying to hurry up and get this done because I'm sure she wants to publish her pattern soon. So hopefully, definitely by next month, this should be published, I would think. I don't know. She did say it's not secret, so it's okay that I showed you. When the pattern is published, I will make sure I update the notes below so you guys can link directly to it. So this is my one whip that I am very, very actively working on. I do have another one though. Okay. Here we go. I'm not sure how to hold this up. I mean, that works. What do you guys think? That's not what this is. This is actually a sweater. This is the head. Well, I don't want to put it on while we're on the needles. Okay. This is a top-down sweater called Threshold by Melanie Berg. She's known as Marilyn D on Instagram. And I think it's Melanie D Designs. Oh, maybe one of the problems I'm having here is I'm actually in the middle of a row. I don't like to stop there, but I know why I stopped there. I was having issues reading the pattern, which, I mean, I'm not perfect. It happens. It doesn't happen very often. So I had to, thankfully, she's got this wonderful Ravelry group, and one of the threads is all, pattern support. So I messaged, and after a little bit of going back and forth, I found out what the problem was. So I've got to tink back, I think 2 rows, which isn't awful. And just on this side, just on this. So I have to tink back 2 rows, and then I've got to make it this long. And then I'll join, and I'll be going round and round and round, knitting the body of the sweater, and then there's sleeves and whatnot. But this is, so again, this is Threshold by Melanie Berg. The yarn is gorgeous. It is Girl Talk. I gotta show you though, because you gotta watch those, you gotta watch the batches, because they change from the colorway changes a little bit batch to batch. So this is Girl Talk and this is Girl Talk, but this Girl Talk, the pops of color are a lot brighter. So it's a lot brighter pink, lot brighter yellow. This skein, it's a lot more muted. So I am alternating skeins. I will helix knit the body. Oh, I don't want to helix knit the sleeves. We'll see. We'll see when we get there what I end up doing. But I have a little ways to go. I cast this on, and then I needed pattern support. So while I was waiting for pattern support, I found a test knit, and now I'm just knitting on that. I'll get back to Threshold. That's part of my Make 9 though for 2020. So I really do want to finish it yet this year. Yeah, I do. I keep thinking I'm going to cast on a shawl, but I'm not. I have not touched my tulip shawl since I last mentioned it on here. Now, I did pull it out one time just to see if I could figure out where I am on the pattern. Because guess who forgot to leave herself a note letting her know where she's at in the lace panel of the pattern? I couldn't figure it out. And I was going to just try and see what I could, just go for it, because that's what I do. And then I realized I'm missing my beads that I ordered for the tulip shawl. So I thought, well, I definitely can't work on it now. I have now since found the beads, but now I'm really wanting to get these 2 sweaters done first. So I hopefully will get back to that tulip shawl. I would really love to finish that this year. It is also part of my Make 9. I am not going to do all of my Make 9 this year. I did last year very quickly. Like, I feel like I did all of my Make 9 before June 1st. But I had a really bad year last year. And even though this has been a very different year. It's still not as bad as last year was. So just the knitting's not been quite there. And I've been busy. Like, I'm sure we all are busy. So it just is what it is. If I don't get my make done, that's okay. I love setting goals for myself. Kind of gives me some purpose. And if I'm not sure what to knit next, well, I'll just go to my make 9 and grab something. And that has helped me move from project to project by, having 9 projects, the pattern and the yarn pre-picked out before at the beginning of the year. As soon as I finish something, unless I'm super motivated to try something else real quick, I don't have that lag between projects because I can typically just go to my make 9. Oh, I'll do that one and grab it. So that's been kind of nice. I don't necessarily use it as a rule I must follow, more as a guide if I'm stuck. That's what I do. Okay. I have some yarn to show. If this is not enabling, I'm so grateful that this is in my stash. One second. This is, look, they're as big as my head. Look, I'm a lopsided Princess Leia. No, this is Mohair in Motion. And I chose to be super grateful to have these skeins this month because I got these at the Michigan Fiber Festival. It wasn't last year, so it must have been 2 years ago. And I love them. And they're marinating in my stash. They're not sure what they want to be yet. But as far as I know, they don't sell online. They only sell at festivals. So I always go to their booth. I love the stuff that they have there. They have these massive, massive yarn babies all over their booth. And I mean, look at that. That's my color, y'all. That's my color. And that's just, natural is also my color. But look at these little loop-de-loops. Oh, I can't wait to see what this ends up becoming. I don't, whenever we get there. But I love it. And they did a Michigan Fiber Festival. The in-person festival was canceled. They did do a really cool virtual festival. They had a Facebook group specific for the festival. The vendors I think they all did. I don't think they left anyone out. The vendors did a live in the Facebook group. Like they gave you a itinerary of who was going to go live when. There was a list with links to the different shops and whatnot. I mean, as virtual fiber festivals go, I thought it was really well done. I just missed seeing everybody. So since Michigan Fiber Festival is in August, and this is Mohair in Motion is where, Michigan Fiber Festival is where I find my Mohair in Motion. They're my Mohair in Motion hookup. I decided I was going to be super grateful that I had these in my stash since I wasn't going to get any this year. So anyway, that's what I'm grateful for. I do want to mention a couple of podcasters that I recently came across. One is Not Your Average Knitting Podcast. It is 2 friends that get together, and I think the girl lives in an apartment, and they're just like on her back patio deck, and they just knit, and they're cute. They're so fun to watch together. They look like they are good friends. That's been very entertaining to me lately. And again, that was Not Your Average Knitting Podcast. And the other one is Fiber Love Diary. Oh man, I want to meet her. She does all the things. And I love that because I love doing all the things. I think we would have a good time over coffee or something stronger. I think we'd have a good time. She has a couple of tutorials, which I have found very, very helpful, particularly weaving tutorials. But other than that, she does lots of things. She knits, she dyes, she weaves. I think she crochets, but don't quote me. I don't know. Just very entertaining. So if you are looking for a new podcast to follow, Not Your Average Knitting podcast is fun, and they're new. I believe they only have like 4 or 5 podcast episodes. And then Fiber Love Diary is also really entertaining, and she also has several tutorials over different kinds of crafts. Like, it's not just, I mean, she's kind of amazing. I like her. So I've only watched, I say that, but I've only watched like 4 episodes, and she's got many more than that. But I found her very entertaining, and then also very helpful with her tutorials. So yeah, those are some new podcast, YouTube channels that I came across lately that I thought I would pass on. Okay, that's enough. I'm rambling. I will see you guys in a month. Happy crafting.